The chairman of Barranco Village, Dr. Joseph Palacio, addressed some of the unexpected implications the new SARS-2 regulations have had on the community. Implications that might have gone unnoticed in other parts of the country drastically affected the lives of the Garifuna community in Barranco Village and other southern coastal communities who depend on the SARS-2 River for their sustenance. Dr. Palacio today spoke on the affected livelihoods of the people.
To look at it as larger issues, immediate issues, and often the rest of Belize is not aware. And so we need to inform the rest of Belize about some of these situations that were there even before the crisis with Guatemala and have worsened. It isn't only a place for fishing. It's also a place that we would go from one side to the other, earlier historically for farming purposes, and also at this point in time to be able to get to Livingston, Guatemala, which is a Garifuna community where we have relatives, as many relatives in Livingston as we have in Punta Gorda. You have to keep in mind that the Garifuna are coastal and that they are one big extended family. So from time to time we have to visit. So all of that possibility now, because of the closure, or the fact that Guatemala, for all intents and purposes, has taken over this SARS-2, has meant that the access that we had earlier for the waters, for visits, has been closed to us. And it's something which increases the picture of sort of a dismal situation in the village. What is the solution? What is the next step? At the same time, the government hasn't come to the village to talk to us as a community, look and explain what is happening, what is the solution in the short term, long term. These are all questions that people ask, and so it's all a part of this whole larger issue that we spoke about earlier. So the SARS-2 leads on to something else.
Dr. Palacio stated that while he cannot comment on the government's response to the crisis with Guatemala, consultations with Barranco residents and other coastal residents is imperative.
A government reacts to crisis situations, and in this particular case, this was the response of our national government. I wouldn't necessarily say was it the right thing to do, and if it was not the right thing to do, what the alternative should have been. That I leave to the government, because they are the ones who have all the information. As small communities, we should, however, be consulted. There should be a delegation of village leaders, of the national leaders, coming to say, look, this is what has been happening. This is the impact. We also know that you are an impoverished community, and that just give us some time so we could look at alternatives. That kind of dialogue has not existed, and it is rather unfortunate.
Dr. Palacio stated that the village local government is open for consultation with the central government.